Alright. I like being able to get something fixed. So, got the pump, got it installed, got the washer back in its hole here, and some of the towels and stuff that we used because the residual water in the washer. Well, actually Tina, he said, well, you know what, find out if this thing's working alright. Put those in the washer with a little residual soap that was in there from the last wash we did when the pump failed on us. So it already started to fill with water, and it ran through a couple of things, and it actually the pump down at the bottom, the new one I put in, it actually moved water out of it and up through the drain hose. So you could hear it, fill it up and shoot some water into the drain. So at least it's working that way. So this is good. This will make her happy. It'll make me happy. So, all right. So other than moving this thing out, because the top has got a weight in it. I don't know, it's got to be, I'm guessing 50 pounds or so. And it's all part of the design. It's kind of a neat design and everything, but there's no, wide open cabinet in the majority of RVs out there. So getting the thing in and out is not easy. But if you're going to do it, go to the back, get things cleaned out as you get to the back. I've taken a shelf out here. Go to the back and disconnect the vent first. If you have a vented model, make sure you disconnect the vent first. Shut the water off. So you don't have any pressure there. Unplug it. And then it's in a tray. So what I would suggest, if you can, is to get either shelving material or some other piece of wood. The wider the better, to get underneath this unit, and you want to go all the way to the back. The bottom of this is very thin metal, so do not suppose that whatever you put in the middle is going to support it, because it will not. I put initially links levelers underneath here. I lifted it up, got the links levelers underneath it, pulled it out, put some more underneath, and the links levelers really weren't doing much of anything because the bottom plate had collapsed, and I had to reform it. So get a piece of wood underneath it, and then it'll make it a lot easier to slide it out of the compartment, and make sure you have enough room to maneuver. What I had to do is take the closet door off, and let me tell you what, that closet door has got to weigh a good 30-40 pounds. That's solid wood right there. So when we took that thing off, I was amazed. So got that door out of the way, got the door that leads into the kitchen here out of the way, and then I had enough room to get it out here into the bathroom and then turn it around so it was facing out. There's a door leading out of the camper in the back, and it's pouring outside. So I was able to stand right out there and work on the bottom. And getting the pump removed, after you get to the bottom, there is 4 screws. Take the 4 screws out. Disconnect the tubing. There's two pieces of tubing, an inlet and an outlet, and 2 connectors. I don't think polarity matters on those, but you might want to mark them if you'd like, which one came from where, left or right. Pop those off. They just pull right out. The pump is released from the front. Remove that lower panel. Right here, this lower panel comes off. And on this side, there are 2 screws that hold the pump to the frame. Take those 2 screws out. The pump will now be free. And then you need a pair of locking pliers so that you can compress the band that's holding the tubing in place. Move that out of the way, and the rubber tubing pops right off. Now you're probably going to have leftover water in there. Be prepared, and that's why we have the towels. The pump at that point just comes right out. Putting the new one in is in reverse order. There is a tab on the front of the pump, so when you slip it into the frame, it kind of holds it in position until you get the 2 screws to secure it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Make sure all the hoses are secured properly. Put those on, put the hoses on, put the bands on tight, and then check it a second time to be sure, because if it leaks, you're going to go through a whole lot of effort to get back to those. Double check them, triple check them, just to make sure. Put all that back together, put the bottom back on. There's 4 screws that hold that in place. And then using that piece of wood, again, I used a piece of closet-made shelving, and that was about, I would say, 5 feet long, 4 feet long, 5 feet long. Slipped all the way to the back. I was able to get it on top of that shelf, boarded to slide it right into the back, leaving enough room to go ahead and connect the vent back up and make sure the hoses were tight. Put water on it, check to make sure that there was no leaks at the connections. Plugged it in, and then went ahead and got the laundry in it, crossed my fingers and set it, and here we are. And now, while it is pouring outside, so I don't get soaked any more than I already am, I'm sitting here and watching my newly repaired washer work. Now all I need is a beer.